One's revealed. Let me go to my Hearthstone too.
Hey everyone, Alodar here.
Okay.
Today I've got a very interesting and possibly very exciting video to share with you.
Okay. That's good.
This video pertains to how far along developers are in recreating classic World of Warcraft. Now, in order to tell you this video, I've got to give you a little bit of a backdrop into how this occurred. I was planning on creating another video for you today, and then suddenly this happened last night.
Okay.
And essentially what happened is I was streaming the demo. As you know, the demo shut down this morning at 10:15 a.m.
Sad.
We've all been playing the demo for the last week and enjoying every minute that I could. I've been enjoying every minute that I could get onto it.
Okay.
Last night I decided for the last night of the demo, there wasn't really anything I could do. I could create another character if I wanted to, but I already had 4 and they were all pretty much fully geared, as geared as you could get in the Barrens up until level 19. And there wasn't really much else for me to do except for run around and chat with people in my Twitch chat.
Okay.
So I went down to the edge of Thousand Needles to show people that you could actually peer over the edge and look down to the bottom of the.
Oh, I did that too. It's a good idea.
And everybody in my Twitch chat, we just kind of reminisced about we missed these zones, and it's a shame that they got rid of all the quests and stuff that were in there.
Fast forward to like 5 minutes.
Eventually I got too close to the edge and it teleported me back to the crossroads. It's for those of you that didn't play the demo, it's kind of a feat.
Okay, let me move forward a little bit.
Suggests, why don't you roll a hunter and use Eagle Eye? And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, why?
That is a great idea.
Think of that.
Great idea, Alodar.
For those of you that don't know what Eagle Eye is, it's a talent that hunters have where it allows you to look way off into the distance as though you were standing there and kind of look around. So I did that. I rolled up a hunter, immediately ran him up there, and then used Eagle Eye to perch myself up on top of the cliffs that were above the back entrance of Orgrimmar. And sure as day, like, you could see right into the very back end of
Yes,
Orgrimmar,
this is a great idea. Look at
where
this.
the back gate is, and you could see the buildings, and it was pretty clear that they were classic style buildings. And
but how do you get inside,
like,
though?
It was like we were cheering in
that's the only thing I'm
all,
wondering about.
So excited because it was obvious that Orgrimmar was the old Orgrimmar, and they've already updated this, and it meant that the rest of the city was probably done as well. And it was a shame that we couldn't have experienced that, because everybody I talked to, everybody wanted to go into old Orgrimmar or into old Stormwind or whatever.
Well, now he's inside. Well, how the fuck is he inside then?
First time in years. So we got excited about that, but there wasn't really much else I could see from that vantage point. So eventually I gave up, and there wasn't much left for me to do. And then somebody sent me a message on Discord and said, hey, I've been able to get into Orgrimmar. And I was like, what? And they sent me a picture, and it was of him, presumably of him, it was of him, standing on top of the Orgrimmar bank. And it was Orgrimmar like you remember it, but with no people in it, no NPCs, no nothing. And I was looking at this picture going, how do I know this is legit? Like, how do I actually know? So I actually said to him, how do I know this is real?
This is fake news.
He said, look at the text, or look at the chat. And I looked at the chat, and it was basically the same chat that I had, like, scrolled back a little bit. So it was obvious that he was he was in the demo, which blew me away. And suddenly I got excited, and I was like, dude, can you, like, run around? Can you take a video of you running around in Orgrimmar and just kind of, like, going through all the areas, the buildings, try to get into the instance if you can? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then I made a request. I said, please make sure that you open up your graphic settings and show that there's the classic, switch to classic.
To prove it's not a private server. That's smart.
That you're in old Orgrimmar, but it's with the demo menu, just as proof that this was actually legit. So he said, yeah, sure, no problem. So he did that, and there was another guy that was in my Twitch chat that knew him and was also basically doing the same thing. He'd been told how to do this, and so he was running sort of in there, but then he decided that he was going to go down to Thousand Needles into Teneris.
What?
And then somebody said, well, why don't you go to the gates of AQ? See if they're open or closed. So he's like, okay, that gives me something to do for the next little while. That's a long run. So he starts running across the Barrens, and he notices after running for a few minutes that there's no mobs. There's no mobs, there's no NPCs, no nothing. And we couldn't
That's
figure
what we
out what was
noticed
wrong
too.
because I was actually partied with him.
Because I didn't see any of the mobs either.
And like we couldn't see each other. We couldn't like.
That's where all the big dicks would be. Like if you had tier 2 or tier 3 gear, you would sit right here. Right here and right here. Like this little pathway in between the bank right there, and I think it's the auction house over there. That's where all the big dicks would be posted up right there, sitting there waiting for people to inspect them. Every good player was in between these two buildings in Vanilla WoW.
I could see the mobs, but he couldn't see them. And then a light kind of went off in my head, and I'm like, maybe Orgrimmar is done. Maybe all the NPCs are actually there, but whatever they've done to their characters, they've glitched their characters somehow so that they can't see mobs. And when I was talking about this on stream, there's another person in stream that said, essentially what's happened is the server is not communicating with the client now for some reason. The server thinks that their characters are still in the Barrens, where their characters were glitched. Meanwhile, their client's allowing them to run off basically wherever they wanted to go. And that kind of like, that's way above what I understand, but
I actually know how to do this. Somebody told me how to do this. I didn't do it on stream because I considered it hacking. But yes, there is a way to do this. And it has to do with setting the permissions, and it has to do with the way that it has to do with your internet. Let me just say that. It has to do with your internet.
like, okay, sure. And so this guy starts to head down towards AQ to basically see if the gates are open. He's got a long run ahead of him. But he starts going and he mentions, I don't see any mobs or any NPCs the entire way down.
Oh.
The other guy that was running around Orgrimmar, he's finished running around, and he asks where I'd like him to go. And I said, you know what? One of my favorite
it's classic. This is the actual game right here.
He told in Twitch chat that he had lost connection. He logged back in and then told us again in Twitch chat, shoot, I'm back in the Barrens. So now we understand sort of the technicalities of it. The server thought he was still in the Barrens, so when he logged back in, he appeared in the Barrens.
Yeah.
And it wasn't soon after that that the guy that was running down through the Barrens and into Tenaris to go to AQ, he was in Discord with me actually, and he was updating me in Discord.
Here we go, dude.
He was, and he got into the entranceway of Ungoro Crater and was telling me about it, and he was like, "Wow, this looks amazing." And then suddenly I was like, "Oh, damn!" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I got disconnected." And I'm like, "Oh man, that's a long run. Like, you're gonna try again?" And he's like, I'll try again." And we were sitting there thinking about it and trying to determine why these guys had gotten logged out. And somebody in chat said, "Well, it's because the server doesn't recognize that their characters are moving."
That's right.
So after half an hour, the server's thinking, "Okay, well they're AFK," so it logs the person out.
That's right.
So immediately it drops them. No matter where their client thinks they are in game, the server's thinking, "Nope, they haven't moved. They're AFK. Kick them out." So that's essentially what happened to both of them. Now they knew how to basically do this, and you know, I wasn't going to attempt it because one, I'm streaming, like that would have been ludicrous, but these other guys were doing it, and I wasn't going to come out with this video until today anyways, and there was going to be no way that somebody could watch this video and then go play the demo and be able to recreate the events because the demo's over and it's done. So I wasn't really too worried about that. They decided to log in, and then they went over to the Eastern Kingdoms. They ran through Stormwind, got video of that for me, and then the other guy ran over to all the way from Stormwind, all the way through Red Ridge Mountains, and then all the way up to Blackrock Mountain. And these video clips that I'm showing you, you can look around at all the zones that they've gone through, and they are
it's so crazy to see.
They look complete. And he got all the way into Blackrock Mountain, and you can, like, he's running into the Blackrock Mountain, and you can see him peering down to the bottom where the lava is and looking around, and it looks just amazing. It looks exactly like it used to look back in original retail. And it was pretty evident that the zones all across have already been done. Like
there it is.
As far as we can tell, because they ran a huge chunk of the zones that over the course of 2 hours. They ran a huge chunk of the zones. that are in
Please
the
go
game,
near the auction house.
and they all looked done. And the only thing that they each said was missing were the NPCs and the mobs. And as soon as they got teleported back and then logged back, or
It was right in there, dude.
logged back in, they could
There's
see
a
the
little
mobs.
corridor.
I'm pretty positive that the mobs and the NPCs are not there.
Right, I stood right here in this exact fucking spot. Whenever I quit my first raiding guild and I joined the best guild on the server, I stood right in this fucking spot before I went to school. It was like 8 in the morning. I logged on so nobody was online. I quit my fucking guild. I was standing right here in this room and the auctioneers were up there, dude. Holy fuck, man. Holy fuck.
Because the server's not telling the client that they're there because they're not communicating. So I think honestly that these zones for the most part are done as far as, you know, cosmetics, stuff like that. The cosmetic stuff I think is already done.
People would always try and get on top of the fountain.
I think as far as the development of the game goes, they may be a lot further along. Like if you can see these videos, or you are watching these videos where these guys are running around in these zones, and if it wasn't for the fact that the mobs are missing and stuff like that, it looks exactly like classic, like classic retail World of Warcraft.
That's classic WoW. See, it's got the little thing right there.
And it's so exciting to see that they've gotten this far so far. And you can even see in one clip where
Stranglethorn
the guy
Vale
tries to go into the instance and he didn't get in, and we just assumed, okay, well, at that time we didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was because the server and the client weren't talking. The reason he couldn't get into the instance, well, one, maybe it wasn't actually there, but more likely is 2, the server doesn't realize that he's actually at the instance trying to get in. The server actually thought he was still at the Barrens, so that's why it wasn't letting him in. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys these clips to hopefully you find these clips as exciting as I did. When they started sending me these clips in to my email, I started looking through them and I was like, oh my, these are absolutely amazing. Like absolutely amazing. And
absolutely amazing.
It makes me really believe that maybe there's a beta very, very soon, like right around the corner, possibly January maybe. I don't know if it would be that soon, but I was always assuming that if it was going to be a summer launch, it was probably going to be late summer, like August, because that's when Blizzard does things, right? And if we got a beta, it would be maybe 2 months in advance, so maybe we're getting a beta in June. But based on these clips and everything that they were able to see, it looks like it's a lot further along than we thought. Maybe there's a beta, maybe there's an alpha in January, a beta in February, March, and then maybe the game launches in June, like at the latest. Like I don't know, it just seems really exciting to me. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed these clips. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you ever want to talk to me about any of my videos, you can either leave a comment down below, or you can always come over to my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Alodar. I'll leave the link down below. Man. And you can come talk to me about
the original fucking zones, man.
I really hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.
Oh my god. Please enjoy the rest of the footage. All right, let's look at the rest of it. Let me give you guys a link. Yeah, give Alodar, give him a subscribe and give him a follow. I'll give him a sub, I'll give him a +1. There we go. Yeah, this video is fucking great, man. Y'all notice they said this at the classic recap of BlizzCon? I don't know about that, man. Like, guys, I want TBC too. It's not like I only want vanilla WoW, right? I also want TBC. I want Wrath, TBC, and vanilla. I don't want Kata. I don't want Mop. I don't want WoD either, actually. Holy shit. Yeah, so basically the way that they did this, have you ever gotten to a point, let me ask you a question, okay? Have you ever had something happen where your character, like let's say you were flying and you get off your flying mount and your character's swimming in the air and you're still moving at flying speed even though you're not on the mount? Okay. That's how it happened. Let me just explain that. That is how it happened. I actually think this might mean that we might see a beta, because like let me think. So if it comes out, yeah, so a beta in January, and an alpha in January, a beta in, I'd say like April, maybe. Let's say like April, March or April. Then the game comes out in May through July. At this point, like seeing all this footage and everything, it makes me think, oh, this is, wait, where is this? Is this Felwood? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Holy shit. That's insane. September 31st incoming. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, dude, August is my call. Dude, that's fucking amazing. Like, I'm actually so excited for this. Like, Classic WoW, like, this is something I've, like, said before, is, like, the original, like, Classic WoW and everything is just, it's always been, like, something I've been really, really, like, I've just really wanted to see. Like, I don't know, whenever I thought about it, like, especially, like, seeing this right here, like, this is what really kind of got me, is, like, the amount of times that I would be running in from Stormwind City. Like, I remember there was one time that Zach and I had went to Stormwind, and we both saw this same sword off of the blacksmith, and I was running in to buy it because I was saving up all of my money that I had gotten. And as I was running to buy it, Zach asked me if he could borrow some money from me, and I was like, for what? And it's like, for the sword. And I was like, no, I'm buying the sword right now, dude. And it was just like such a good fucking moment, man. Like, I don't know, it's just, it feels good. People won't invest much time in the Classic. Of course they will. Like, what do you mean? People played the demo constantly. They leveled like 5 characters up to 19, and there was no permanence of those characters at all. People are going to invest tons of time in a Classic. I don't know why people think that. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be really excited to play Classic. It's not just like a small group of people, but it's a lot, okay? Classic is already dead. No, it's not. Just a second. Let me go ahead and close this here. I am really excited to see that, though. I have multiple 60s on Northdale. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have been playing Classic forever, man. Show us your snack box pog.